Live and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where edutainment explains it. And today we're going to be edutaining and explaining about Ultimate Universe #1. Yeah, y'all been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and wait. Well, actually, it's only been a month since Ultimate Invasion. So we're gonna do not necessarily a blow by blow, but a synopsis with picks. So that for those of you that want to check out the story in its entirety, I have literally not shown you the entire comic book here. I'm having a shake. Cheat day, cheat day. Gotta have a cheat day, man. Got to. Otherwise, don't hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt yourself. Now, let's do what we need to do before we do what we want to do. Should I incorporate that? Y'all tell me. Instead of getting the legalese out of the way, tell me if doing what we need to do before we do what we want to do. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page so that when new material comes out, you get it. If you're digging what a brother shoveling put some dirt in my bucket, comment, like, subscribe, and share because edutainment, what I do. Of course, you've already seen the cover. On the cover, from top to bottom, that is Reed Richards, Dr. Doom, I guess is the best way we could describe it. He is the Reed Richards of the 6160, who was a prisoner / instrument of the Maker. And then, of course, that is young Tony Stark, aka Iron Lad, the god of thunder Thor, and Sif. Okay, Sif. That's interesting, an often neglected character, and an interesting addition. And Captain America, of course, who will not be making the appearance you think he's going to make in this book. Jonathan Hickman and Stefano Caselli, writer and artist. When we crack this story, Reed Richards and Iron Lad are in Asgard, as if you couldn't tell from the lettering on the top of the page, and they are about to spring Thor from his cell because they want to right the wrongs that the Maker did. And because Reed Richards was a prisoner of the Maker, he also had access to his files, so he knows what was and what's supposed to be. Yep, Thor in a cell. They bust him out and they ready to go, but Thor says, not yet, I got to grab something. We all know what he's got to grab. Some prison guards stop him, bring him to the throne room where there is Sif and the throne, someone on it, but we can't see who. And Sif turns around, sees the prisoner is there. But what is Sif gonna do about it? The guards try to jump, and as you can see from the smoke from Iron Lad's hand, he blasted one of them. And now they like, okay, he can't get to his hammer. What Asgardian doesn't know that Thor doesn't need to be near his hammer to get at his hammer? And we get Ultimate Thor back in the building. And Reed and Tony are contemplating why, since he could always get to it, why didn't he grab it? Well, probably because he didn't want to do this to his fellow Asgardians. Notice he didn't do anything to Sif in this situation. And I kind of suspect why, because I'm getting the vibe, the energy that this Thor is more akin to the mythological Thor, brash, hot-headed, quick to get angry, than comic book Thor. So Reed Richards, Tony Stark, and Thor bone out of Asgard and go back to New York. Stark Tower. We got Captain America on ice. We're not good at drinking, and we are definitely not going to try to bust him out by striking the ice with a hammer. Nice to know that Thor ain't the smartest tool in the shed. And that's okay, because he's supposed to be the toughest. The dialogue between Sif and Thor, very interesting. Check it out. Woof. Strong words. And she's talking about how Thor has dedicated, they've explained to Thor, what's been going on. And Thor dedicates his strong right arm to the purpose. And Sif's like, but promising freedom when you don't have your own seems disingenuous, Thor. And Thor claps back with, is this Asgard, Sif? Am I in a cell? And Sif immediately claps back with, this is not Asgard. You are not in a cell, but do not forget who I am and what you are to me. While you may temporarily have my leave, you do not have absolution, no matter what these little men say. Sif sound like she ain't no punk, And honestly, I always thought Sif should be something like a Wonder Woman in the MCU or in the Marvel universe proper, but she never got elevated to that level ever. We seen, she kicking it with Beta Ray Bill over here and doing things and Journey into Mystery, but never ever saw her really, just Sif shine. And from that exchange, it sounds like this Sif is also more akin to the Sif of mythology. Besides not having blonde hair, she is the wife of Thor. Okay? And we're going to see Sif's reaction to something later that is totally contradictory to all this slick talk and angry Viking stuff. Now, Reed Richards is explaining to both Sif and Thor what's going on. That the Maker took everything and everybody out of this universe that would have eventually became a superhero or some sort of being that would oppose him. And he has all of the data, information, and probably some sort of genetic material, I would dare to wager, based on that log, which we saw quite prominently in Ultimate Invasion, that there might be more than just files in this repository. And they know where the repository is, thanks to Reed Richards. It's in Latveria. And of course, in Latveria, it's going to have some kind of fail-safes on it that are going to need to be penetrated. And they get into the castle. And they get to the repository. And these large canisters contain the information. And one of these canisters, according to Reed Richards, contains the personalities, the information, whatever, of 100 people. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 10. And so thousands. We're looking at thousands of superpowered beings who never were. Okay? And that need to be replaced to their former glory. When they left Asgard, Thor teleported them out. So would Thor be able to teleport all of these canisters to Stark Tower? And he's giving a speech. Can I do it? I'm a god and not bound by the limits of men. And as soon as he says that, a man puts a sword through his chest. Thor. Oh, that's a different reaction, isn't it? Oh, Thor. Oh, Thor. Oh, Thor. Oh, Thor. Help. What's happening to you? Well, not what. Who? And it's Captain Britain, who happens to be French. What? Sif wants to fight. She gets smacked. And Reed Richards gets smashed on his head. What is Iron Lad gonna do about all this butt whipping the so-called Earth's mightiest hero? Well, not yet, are about to receive or are receiving. Point blank repulsor blast to the grill. And they get on up out of there, but they only get away with one canister. Meanwhile, Captain Britain is bitching to the collective about losing an eyeball. You stuck a sword through somebody's chest and you're complaining about losing an eyeball. I already think we need a new Captain Britain. He ain't right. He ain't right. And lest we forget, Haino Kuni, that is the Asian collective, Children of Eternal Light. They are Hulk's people. The upper and lower kingdoms are Khonshu and Ra. The Eurasian Republic, that is Ilyana, Pyotr Rasputin, and Arkady, I forget his name, Omega Red. And then the Society of South America, Mr. DaCosta and them. They are basically empires that rule the world in the 6160, and they work together to sort of be a global Illuminati. When there are problems, 9 times out of 10, they create them, and then they also come and solve them. So there you go. That's who they are. They're a bunch of elite, insert the expletive of your choice. And so here is Stark's satellite, and it's being powered up because the collective controls all machines. And so they can make this satellite do this. Minus one Stark Tower. Yikes. And a week later, in the spot where Stark Tower used to be, they are having a memorial, because if you look down here, these bottom 4 panels, names are scrolling. So you can see the last name as it scrolls by. You see what I'm saying? Now, he's saying, sad things. Oh, terrible. Wah, boo-hoo, blah, blah, blah. Don't worry about none of that. Pay attention to the names. Boom, bomb. Who is that? Who? Emily Osborne and Norman Osborn. This is a list of all the people who died in that Stark Tower thing. Okay. Also of note, a woman ran into a 15-year-old on a bicycle. The woman who ran into this 15-year-old on the bicycle was in critical condition. The woman on the bike walked away without a scratch on her. We already know that's somebody's superpower. Yeah. All right. Now, see that name? May Parker. So there's supposed to be an Ultimate Spider-Man in January. May Parker is not going to be there? And as we can see on that bottom panel, if Tony Stark is very much alive, then it would be safe to reason that everybody else that was around him is also. And Tony looks pissed, and we know what happens when Tony gets pissed. But wait! Top panel! Let's get a close-up on that. Who might that be, ladies and germs? Claws on the fingertips, pointy ears. Oh my, that's got to be the Black Panther. Can you say put some respect on T'Challa's name. If in fact that is T'Challa. I'm going to say it is. But I think they heard us, y'all. I think they heard us. What do we think about Ultimate Universe #1? Do we think that the Ultimate Universe is going to blossom into something similar to the 1610? Or are we going to get an entirely different Ultimate Universe in this run? Yo, y'all stay tuned just like me and see what happens. What's going to happen? I don't know. I just told you cats to stay tuned. That's it for now, y'all. But fret not, I will be coming at you with another one of them other ones. And until I do, y'all be good at each other.